Hello and good morning, everyone. It is Speed Week Friday, everyone. That's right. The Pennsylvania Posse begins Speed Week. We are awaiting the arrival of Kyle Larson, like Shinsuke Nakamura with all his opponents. Come on! Bring that shit-talking trash mouth right here so we can stomp you. But you're in Chicago this week. Gonna get stomped out by NASCAR because you couldn't buy a win. I'm just kidding. Larson fans, don't get butthurt. It's not that critical. People like to run their mouth sometimes. It's fine. But I like when people run their mouth and back it up. Much like my Pennsylvania Posse have a lot over the years, providing some great moments, memories for me from childhood on. And with them great moments, they've provided some awesome car designs, some of the top designs the world over. So here I am. I'm going to rank them. Here are my top 10 Pennsylvania Posse Sprint Car designs. Now, if you have a video idea or want me to do a World of Outlaws car designs of all time, which I was planning on anyway, drop it in the comments below. And again, this is Eddie Bainey, Lovable Lunatic Lounge at your service. Number 10. The Gary and Patty Beam, number 88, driven by Todd Schaefer. Now, I know a lot of you are going to scream at me, oh, this car's been driven by the likes of Jan Opperman, blah, blah, blah. I never seen Jan race, okay? It was also driven by some Yanks, frick. Didn't see him race either. I grew up, when I was first started coming to the races at 1994-ish, the tender age of 5 years old. Tender age of 5 years old. Todd Schaefer was in it, and it was that beautiful white with the lettering, red with some black trim on it. I just thought this was a really simple but sweet design, and Todd Schaefer was one of my favorites. So that helps into the matter. Really beautiful looking car to me. Number 9, the Brian Paulus, and I used to work at this place too, the sponsor, Something Farms, number 28. Now, I'm talking about, and the silver and bluish car was nice too, yes. But I'm talking the year he went to Knoxville with it. It was red and it had a lettuce design. Man, was that sweet. And I know a lot of people, that was ugly. I liked it. It was different. I like different in my sprint car racing. I look for things that stand out, that are above the eye. And this certainly took the cake. I actually believe this design was a finalist in Design of the Year. Now, you know how Knoxville always gives a trophy for the sharpest looking car. I don't know if he won that year, but he was definitely in the top 5. Remember that. Because this was before Twitter and all. We were watching on TNN, and they named the 5 finalists, and I believe Brian Paul, I'm positive, 98.7% positive, Brian Paulus was a finalist that year. Really sweet design. And again, I used to work at his sponsor. It's killing me. I worked there literally for 3 months. So it was basically not volunteering, but just basically, that was one of my first jobs. Oh. Number 8, the Joe Hars Miller Chevrolet, number 88. Now, when this car first started coming around, Kenny Jacobs was wheeling it. And then Lance DeWeese took over the reins. After Lance DeWeese got out of another one of my favorite designs, which I will get to closer to the top of this list. What can I say about the Hars 88? Dominant car. Had arguably the 2 most dominant drivers in the history of sprint car racing, outside of Greg. If Greg would have been here longer, he would have won just as many races as Greg. That's not very appropriate, sorry. Hey, I'm working on my cursing at least. Give me that. Just a beautiful design on the first. It was plaid yellow with the blue numbers and kind of like blue flames on the side. Then it got the white Miller Brothers design because first it was sponsored by Har's Furniture, and then it went to Miller Brothers Chevrolet. Really sweet design. One of my favorites of all time, obviously. Number 7. The Hefner Racing Enterprises, number 27. Obviously, this car has a little bit of more pull because of Greg Hodnett driving it. For anybody who knows by now, I was a diehard Greg Hodnett fan. Loved the man from the moment I laid eyes on his driving style, even when he was driving the very underfunded Helm number 11, which he salvaged almost to win Knoxville one year and finished 7th, which was also a nice car, but not a Pennsylvania Posse car. And I like the white, blue, and black design, but I'm talking more of the black, yellow, and silver design of 2017 and 2018. What a sharp car. Just wow. What a really beautiful car. As you see in the pay, it just looked like a thunderbolt mixed with lightning coming pay. Like it was just really sharp to me. Unfortunately, that design wasn't put in victory lane much. Greg last year, podium a lot. Got faster as he does in the months of money. Gets hotter as the year goes on. As the weather gets hotter, Greg got hotter. But unfortunately, didn't put it in victory lane much. 2017, I believe he had 12 wins in it, which is an off year for him. But yeah, 12 wins, an off year, I know, right? Number 6, the Keen Enterprises number 53. And I know, oh, it's purple, black, I loved it. I don't know what it was about it. Just something about it. And Skip Jackson driving it, just really, I love Skip Jackson. I love the fact that somebody from another country, from Australia, albeit, halfway across the fucking world, halfway across the damn world, wanted to come here and race with the best amongst the best. And in the mid-2000s, the Posse PA was the place to be. The Posse were the best in the world. There was nothing you could do about that. Hodnett was going on the road and dominating places like Charlotte. Raymer was doing his thing. DeWeese was competitive. Hell, Schaefer sometimes even when they came here. And Kreitz too. You had a track that was slick, set up for the bottom. Yeah, Kreitz could start 8th and come out of nowhere. But this Skip Jackson number 53, him as well. He made this car not only look good, but he did great in it after Sean Keen's, I'm not going to say failed experiment in sprint car racing, but he just wasn't a great driver. I liked him, though, just because I liked the car, and then Skip took over. Beautiful design, from the plaid purple to the purple and black as the years went on. I really miss seeing this car on the track. But anyway, let's move it along. Number 5. Excuse me. Can't believe I'm doing this. The Al Hamilton Mannheim Auto Auction number 77. And I say that with such disdain because boy did I couldn't. Hate is a strong word, and I will never say that in my life. I'm not somebody that hates. I have too much peace, love, and positivity in my soul to hate. But man, back as a kid, I could not stand this car. I couldn't stand Fast Freddie Raymer, even though as I got older, I matured enough to appreciate what he did for the sport. This car just infuriated me, but it was a beautiful car. Plaid red with the gold lettering. Just, if you think of sprint car racing, you got to think of cars like the Sammy Swindell Channel Lock #1, the Steve Kinser original Quaker Stator Valvoline #11, and definitely the Al Hamilton #77. Dominant car, close to winning Knoxville. I believe won a preliminary in Knoxville 1 year with it. Won races all over the globe. After Fred left, Keith Kaufman drove it, I believe, before Fred, Keith Kaufman drove every car there is to drive. Yeah, dominant. After Fred, it was Lance. After Lance, it was Greg Hodnett. You had the three most prolific drivers in the history of Pennsylvania. No disrespect to Keith Kaufman, no disrespect to Opperman, Mitch Smith, but the three, as far as wins are concerned, most prolific drivers maybe in the whole country. Drive your car. That's pretty awesome. And throw Kaufman in there. That's pretty sweet. That's a pretty good deal. What am I at? Number 4? Yeah. Number 4, the John and Pee Wee Semitis Zemco headers, original black, blue, and pink #1Z. I grew up loving this car because my favorite driver at the time drove it. The Kid, Billy Pouch. Loved this man. Loved seeing him race. It was absolutely such a thrill. It even got to the point where Billy's modified design was similar to this. Billy drove the M1 for a while in modifieds, then he drove just a regular 1P, and the design was on point to the Zemco car. Just a beautiful car. Broke records in this car back when the Zemco car was one of the most dominant all over the country, and especially in central PA. Broke all kinds of records, still holds the record at the Syracuse Mile, something that will probably never be broken because I don't think the Syracuse Mile will ever open again. Just a very beautiful design. And then even when it went to the silver, when Kevin Gobrecht took over late 98, early 99 before he went to the Outlaws and tragically passed away. Yeah, he became one of my favorites as well. And Jeff Shepard eventually took over. The Zemco cars had some of the greatest drivers in the world drive it as well. Now it is wheeled by Logan Wagner, still one of the sharpest cars in Pennsylvania, while the Haas, Hamilton, and my top 2 entries here are no longer in central PA. The Zemco car still is, albeit at a part-time schedule. Number 2. Oh, this was a tough decision picking between these two. The Bob Stewart Apple Chevrolet Cars by Dealers magazine #12. And I know this car from the time I started go. I love this car. Loved it. When I believe Freddie was in it when I first started, right before he took over the Al Hamilton 77. Him and Kaufman had swapped rides. Kaufman went to the 12, Raymer went to the 77. Beautiful car, from the apple on the centerpiece of the wing to the gold lettering originally. Then when Greg Hodnett took over after 98, 99, it going to the white lettering. Then in 2001 with the red and white design with the top part of the side panel on the wing going to white and more detailing. Just an absolutely beautiful car. Candy apple red, which is my favorite color. No, I am not a blood. I also like baby blue too. No, I am not pyro. No gangster here. I like country music, for Christ's sakes. Well, I like hip-hop too. I'm weird. I'm not your average white boy. Anywho, that's back to the subject at hand. That's neither here nor there. just a beautiful car. See, this is the car that I fell in love with because I've seen I've seen Raymer drive it first, wasn't a fan. Then seen Kaufman drive it, then seen Gobrecht drive it until the time that Greg Hodnett stepped into it. And yes, before Greg Timmy Schaefer drove it, yeah, for a half a season, and Hodnett stepped in. They had the driver swap. So, just a beautiful car. Some of my honorable mentions. Actually, I'm going to do a 1A and 1B here because it's hard to pick. It was hard picking between these three. Honorable mentions. The J&K Salvage number 89 of Cody Dare. For anybody that remembers this car, really sharp car, candy apple red again. You see a pattern with red cars in here. Just a beautiful design. It's a damn shame Cody's racing career was cut short as after he left the family-owned car to go on the road with the Outlaws. He is certainly missed, and his family is really good people. Had the privilege of meeting them quite a few times back in the day. Cody actually won the National Open in 2008, the year before Greg did. Now, granted, I believe that this was a posse-only National Open because the original National Open was canceled, but nonetheless. The new Weikert's Livestock number 48 of Danny Dietrich. Whether he goes to the blue and white design or the red and white design, this car is just absolutely phenomenal. Pleasure seeing on the track, and Danny Dietrich's a hell of a guy. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I do, and he's my nephew's favorite driver, so buzz off. Go fornicate with yourself, all right? You take your defecation elsewhere. Make love to yourself. See, I'm working on cutting out swear words and placing them with funny puns. Beautiful car. The new Miller Brothers Chevrolet number 51 that has been driven by Freddie Raymer, Stevie Smith, and now Fast Freddie Jr. Beautiful car. White, black, a little bit of red in it. Really like the design. It's kind of a homage to the old Hars 88 in a way. But yeah, really like the car. Trying to think what I haven't said yet. There's a lot of others that I'm forgetting right now. That'll probably come to me right after this video. Can we count Gary Brazier's 1AU? I'm going to count it because he was a PA regular. The 1AU of Gary Brazier. Beautiful design, white, maroon, a little bit of black. Loved Gary Brazier back in the day. Again, it was always a thrill seeing outsiders come here to race and call themselves proud members of the posse because they couldn't find competition anywhere else. Yeah, Woosah Californians, you're a close second. Well, were back in the day. You might have taken over now, but I'm talking back in the late 90s through about 2012. Nobody could touch Pennsylvania. Even when the Outlaws came here, they were that mad, a lot of times crying and pissing and moaning, why are they dominating us? Because we're that damn good. That's why. And I'm going to go right into it now. My number one tie, drum roll please, 1B, the Weikert's Livestock number 29, driven by guys like Kenny Weld, Doug Wolfgang, Keith Kaufman. Danny Dietrich drives it now, but it's not the Beefmobile anymore. I believe Wasowski drove it for a little bit. No. And number 1A, the infamous number 461 Dyer Masonry Brickmobile, driven by Lance DeWeese. And also honorable mention, the 69K of Don Kreitz. Also a beautiful car and still is to this day. I know that's one that just came to me that probably should have been on my top 10 list. Actually, can we put that number 6 instead of the Skip Jackson number 53K? Can we swap that and put that? Because 60. Anyway, it's done. What's done is done. Can't say enough about either of these cars. These are two of the sharpest cars ever in Pennsylvania, and they were driven by some of the most dominant drivers in Pennsylvania. It was really hard to place anything above the Apple number 12 just because of what it meant to be, but this is not my favorite cars. This is cars, my favorite designs. The Beefmobile and Brickmobile, it doesn't get any better than these two. Tried and true, known to Central Pennsylvania. The detailing on the Brickmobile, the beautiful lettering, bricks everywhere, and then the white chassis piece just with the Dyer masonry on it, just absolutely beautiful, sensational, untouchable. Have any cars that you think I missed in this video? Drop them in the comments below and give me some of your ideas for my next videos. For Lovable Lunatic Lounge, I'm Eddie Bainey, and I hope to see you at the track soon. Hashtag get Bainey to the races. Suspended license. See you soon.